All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. All right, just about to kick off New York Open here at 9:30 in about 20 seconds. Morning, everyone. How you guys doing? All right, there's the opening bell, and we got a little activity. So we got our pre-market high and low marked out here. We've got a small imbalance here. We've already tapped into it here from making that high. I would like to see it come up and sweep that high and then come down. So let's drop down to the 1 minute here and let's watch our levels. All right, we did get an internal sweep here. It didn't quite hit our high here, so I'll just wait for price to come up to our high, or we can see it go straight down. All right, so this is the anticipated move. We did want to see price go down. I do want to see it close through that low though. So if we do come back up here and sweep this high level here, I would not be opposed. All right, we do get the close through. Now let's see if it pops back up, right? So if this is a continuation and we're gonna go lower, I do not want to see price flip back up bullish. I don't want to see price, let's say invert this imbalance if there's an imbalance here. And I don't want to see it make a change of character, break structure back to the upside, that kind of stuff, right? So let's see what it does here. 15 seconds to create a small imbalance here, which is what I want. All right, and looks like we did do that. Now let's see if we can tap into it. Good morning, Anna. Nice to see you. Okay, either we tap the imbalance or the order block here. We've got divergence, we've got displacement, we've got break of structure. Hey John, good morning as well. All right, let's see. Our change of character line is right here. You can see that, right? 398. So I would like to see a retest of that 400 level. Our stop would be just above the high here at 30 points. Oh, we did tap the imbalance. That's great. All right, we have a small internal high right here. If we can tap the 400 level, sweep that high, tap the 400, and then drop down here, that would be ideally the trade that I'm looking for today. There's the low that we created at the start of the day, and that is the target. It's right at a 50 level as well. Okay, just being a little patient here. I mean, I would like to get in on this move, but if it does happen to just move without us and take the low from this imbalance and order block retracement, then that's fine. But I do want to see it come up and sweep that internal high like we want, right? We want to see it tap into that premium point of interest. Also a psych level, right, at the 400 level. Let's see if we get one more retracement. Come on. Right, we did a little kind of mini sweep here underneath that low. Let's see if it continues. 400 is the target. I want it to come back to 400, and then we can look to short once it closes back underneath this level. Looks like it might go without us here. Oh, there we go. A little retracement back. See if that carries us through. Okay, there's some strength there. All right, let's see if we get that retest. Okay, there's the 400. Now we got to close back underneath this level. So now what we've done is essentially we've broken structure below pre-market lows, right? We have a change of character off of this sweep here. We have a displacement. We have an inversion. And then now we're looking for price to retest the premium point of interest. And then this is our internal sweep, right? And now we're just looking for that confirmation of the sweep by closing back underneath that level and respecting this OB. Okay, so we didn't quite get that there, almost, and it was a bullish candle anyway, so I wouldn't have liked that anyway. Would have liked to have seen it come down and become bearish. So if we get a bearish candle closure here, if it closes underneath the swing here and also underneath this imbalance, then I'm in. Otherwise, we're going to wait to see how this plays out and see if it continues to go higher here. We wanted to see it remain underneath this swing, right? This is where our stop would be here. And this looks like a fantastic candle if this is going to be the one that does it. 20 seconds to go. Ready to enter if it closes bearish. And looks like it's on the borderline. Not yet. Nope, not yet. This looks like it may be it. Let's see. 8 seconds. Entry is going to be around 390. And yep, I'm entering right here, 390. Okay, stop is just above the swing up here, 40 points. Okay, we're gonna look for a run down to this daily low point here at 1R. All right, they're taking this low right here, basically around the 50 level. So let's go right above, let's say 351 is the target. Good move. One of the things I will want to see is obviously a closure through this imbalance and a closure back underneath the New York low, pre-market low, and also close under this cycle level would be good too, 380. 2 seconds, close, close. Okay, I got one of the two. I got 2 out of 3 actually. All right, 40 points and we're out. I will not hold longer, even though I do think it's going to go for the rest of this. Like if you watch the pre-market, right, my expectation today is that price is going to come down for all of this. Because Friday, we did not take out New York or Asia lows. This level right here is our all-time high level, right, which we retested here, and then we got this big push to the upside. So I am expecting this level to hold if we're going to be bullish. And we have such a nice little pool of liquidity here with these equal lows just underneath where we got that big reaction. And we also have the gap here that we didn't fill, right? So if we don't come down all the way here, you know, this is a good target as well. We never came back down to fill this gap. Did we hit TP? Almost. Oh, so close. Come on. We got halfway there. All right, let's see if this continues. We've got just a slow kind of consolidation happening here, but closure underneath again here would be good. This retracement came back to retest the inversion. 16 seconds here. Let's get a nice closure underneath the psych level. Yeah, there you go. Come on. All right, good stuff. Next candle expands and takes this low, and we'll be out. All right, we're up 30 points now. Just 10 more. Give me that low. More consolidation. Okay, good retest of the level here. I wanted to see it stay underneath the sweep, of course, and underneath that 400 level. Oh, that's a big reaction. I don't like that reaction. Okay, good wick off of those levels here would be good. Retest of that level. 4 seconds. Okay, good reaction. Now we just need to close back through. Hopefully this is the push that takes us down. We do have divergence here, which I don't like, but I like this momentum right now that I'm seeing. So let's hopefully this is going to be the one that pushes through. This is the daily low for today that we created at the opening of the market. So at the very least, I would like to see price come down and take that out, right? Retest that and come back up if we're going to come back up. Take the low of the early session long holders. Those that took the gap down to 350 and bought up, right? Nice little liquidity pool sitting right underneath here. Nice candle close like that. All right, so come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Equal lows right here, 50 level right here, daily low right here. Our target is 351. We're 6 points away. Come on. And target hit. There we go. Boom. Nice trade. Fantastic. All right, 40 points. I'll take it. All right. I'm not gonna mess around on a Monday. You know, and hold for longer. Right. We got FOMC this week coming up on Wednesday. Okay, there's could be lots of chop, you know, this week, right, leading up to FOMC. So, you know, this could do what I want it to do. I'm not gonna, you know, be greedy about it, because, you know, if we do get another confirmation, if we do get another setup and it does happen, you know, there'll be another setup later on that takes us down. But this target right here, I think is going to be the next likely target to hit. But everything played out beautifully today, right? So we're not going to push the envelope. Oh, there we go. There it goes. Boom, right? So how far did this go down? 60 points, right? We can track it. We keep tracking it. It's good to be done in 15 minutes though, right? It's good to have a setup that happens right at open, be done in 15 minutes. Banger. All right, there we go. What's the next level? Let's see. Obviously that was the daily low. We've got the next low down here at 306, just above 300. All right. Watch this turn into be a monster today. Okay. Yeah, so for those of you that didn't catch it on the pre-market, you guys that have the indicators now have these volumetric discount POI indicator on in your invite only scripts. Okay, so you just need to log out of TradingView, log back in. You'll see it in there. I made some adjustments to it last minute over the weekend. Makes it a little bit less busy on the chart, a little less cluttered. Before I had it showing on every time frame. So like, you know, every single time frame would have the OBs and everything on here. Right now I have it more closely related to the liquidity protocol. So I've taken out the SMC, the order blocks and imbalances out of this one. And so now this is primarily going to be your order blocks and imbalances indicator, right? Because we don't need two. That also leaves this a lot simpler, right? So now it's only going to show you the swing high and low sweeps, right? And then also the psych levels. Okay, so that's really, you know, basically liquidity, which is, you know, liquidity above swing highs and lows, and then your psych level targets. Okay. This right now in the settings, I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I'll do it really quickly here because we have time, obviously, since we're done. So what this does is now you can choose the time frame, okay, that you want to show the OBs and balances on. So now I have it set just like before. I have it set to the 15-minute so that I can only focus on 15-minute OBs and imbalances as my higher time frame point of interest. right? Otherwise, if I go to other time frames, obviously it's going to show other time frames. But now this, whatever time frame you have selected, is going to persist on other time frames. So on the 5-minute, I'll see the 15-minute imbalances and order blocks. This is mainly for the time frames lower. You can see on the 1 hour, if I go above here, it doesn't show, right? Because this is the time frame above. It does show some of them, but I mean, with the coding, it's a little bit difficult to have it show on both the lower and the higher at the same time. I think there's a little disconnect there, but if I fix it, I'll obviously update the code for you. But what's important is that you see it in the lower time frames, right? So if you go down to a 5-minute, or if you go down to the 1 minute like we were, right, you see the 15-minute and the imbalances in the order blocks on the chart, okay? And obviously you can change the color settings if you want, right? You can change the transparency levels, right? By default, the volume bars here on these order blocks are going to be very, very bright, right? So what you need to do is you need to come down here to the volume bar transparency and extension zone transparency and turn those all the way up. It's transparency, not opacity, right? We're used to the settings on the rectangles as saying opacity, and we want to turn those down, but this is the opposite. It's transparency. So you want to turn these up so that they become lighter, right? So my volume bar transparency is set at 80. You can even set it lower than that if you want. If you don't like this, kind of background color, it's distracting. You can set it down to the same thing as the other one, which is 95. And they'll both be like a very light background color. It takes a while to kick in. There we go, right? And then you can see it's not as, invasive. So maybe I'll do this at 90. So you got a little contrast. Yeah, there you go, right? Okay, and then the text on the side is going to be labeled to the right over here, right? Before I had them inside the bars, and it was kind of difficult to see the text. So now I have them outside of the bars here, right? And then you can also change the color of the bars and how, dark you want them and things like that, and all that other stuff. And that is going to be over here in this section, right? So text transparency, again, 0 transparency means it's full transparency or full opacity, right? 0 transparency. If you want them to be lighter on the chart, then just go like 50. And you also can change the size of the text as well. Like if you want it super big, right? if you're blind and you want to see them super big on the chart, you can do that. But yeah, default I have it. I think it's 0 and at small. Okay, and then it'll label what the thing is, right? So if it's a 15-minute imbalance, it'll say M15, and then depending on whatever time frame you select, right, it'll show the other ones as well. Okay, so that is now active in your list, right? You should be able to see it. You should be able to add it to your favorites, and you should be able to play around with it. So let me know if there's anything that's buggy or if you notice anything that should be fixed, obviously, right? Give me some feedback in the channel indicator feedback channel, and then I'll get to fixing it. Okay, so just a recap of how this works again, right? So what it does is it'll map out your premium discount range, right? So whatever range look back you have, it'll take the range look back. Actually, it's not based off the premium. I'm sorry. It's just the maximum OBs and imbalances on here I have as a number, right? As 5. You could do like up to, I don't know how many you can do. I think you do a lot, maybe 20. Yeah, I guess you could do 20 as well, right? So it'll show however many max active you want on the chart is right there. And then, so what it does is it'll take those OBs, right? And then it'll see like the buying and selling activity. So it measures it in real time based off of the volume, right? That is given to us through the feed. And it'll measure the buying and selling activity at those levels, right? And it'll measure them. So if there's more selling activity, then obviously you'll see a bigger volume bar for selling, okay? And if there's more buying, then obviously vice versa. And then it'll give you a percentage of, how much of that volume was accumulated at that time. So you can see here this one, well, it just disappeared because we just mitigated it, right? It'll show you how much percentage of volume is, is there, right? So you can actually gauge what is going on here. There we go. So you can gauge like how much, how likely price is able to come back and retest an order block, or yeah, just based off of the volume percentage, right? Because if there's a really high volume order block on the chart, there's a lot better chance of price going back to that one versus something like this where it's only 3% or 2%, right? And obviously that's subjective, you know, to however many OBs you have on the chart. So it's going to target the one that has the, or I mean, you should be looking at the one that has the highest volume to target. Let's see where it jumped to down here. There we go. So this one has 10%, and it might show. Yeah, this one shows only 1%. So yeah, this one would, like right now here, this is the highest volume one, right? So you should be looking at price maybe wanting to come down to this level here, retesting this level, right? There's also an imbalance right above here, so this will be like the first target that you would look for. But if it's aiming for this or it's coming back towards this, then you should be looking for it to come down to here. And look at our trade right here, right? 306, what do we say? 305, 306, 300 level. There's that swing. Right, so we did actually get that nice little rebound on that. So on our entry, what was our entry? Our entry is around 390, right? Just say 387, that's fine. So nice 80 points out of this trade. 80, 85 points. We could have gotten 2R. No problem. All right, so, you know, it's nice to be done early, I guess. You guys have any questions or anything, you can fire them off to me. So I would expect this to continue lower, like I said, right, to go for the rest of this. If we get a reaction here at the daily low, which is what I expected, which is why this was right target first, right, because I was expecting price to give us a reaction here at the daily low and then pop back up. So notice how we're going to create another range. We have a break of this low here, right? And in the pre-market, I told you guys to watch for the break of this line here, this neckline. Okay. And the daily level. So if we get that break, tell me the post is in the announcements. I'll actually post it again if you guys are wondering where it is, because I think some people didn't miss it, but let me post it again. You can watch the video so you can see all the details, because it's easier for me to just post you the video versus trying to say everything in here. Let's see. All right, do you see it in the announcements? If not, I'll post the, I'll just forward you the link, okay? Where are you, sir? Tell me, there we go. Okay, I just posted it to your DM, tell me. All right, so yeah, if we get that break of the neckline here, right, a break below Asia lows, break below that New York low level, right, because you can see here, this is still actually, technically, this is going to be a reversal, right, a sweep if we get a closure above. And if we get back above the day open line and the week open line, then we're going to be facing a potential reversal. Now, the reversal is going to be confirmed if we get a closure above the New York high, right, because that'll be a change of character. And then we could assume price is going to want to come up for the highs here and here. But if we get this structure here to hold, right, this is going to be where it's kind of be maybe up in the air, 50-50, because what price could do is this. We get this reversal, right? We get a change of character here and it confirms, but then we get this reaction, right? And then we come back down. Okay, so if we get a closure back through, you know, this New York low level, once we get a closure back above here, or even just a trade back through this midline right here, I would say. So if we're bullish, we're going to do this. We're going to close above and then we'll do this, right? We probably will not go below this 50% level and this order block, right? If we're bullish. But if we are bearish, right, we're not bullish, then this is not going to be a break and hold. This is going to be basically a sweep of these highs, a trade into the premium here, right? Respecting that high and then giving us the next lower high, lower low, like that. Right, so those are the two levels you're going to have to want to watch going forward. All right, YouTube land is kind of quiet, but hope you guys that are watching on the stream are getting some value, and also hope you guys got in that trade as well. If you didn't, that's all right. It's only Monday, right? It's still very early in the week. We're still starting off, kicking off the week, so we got plenty of opportunities to go. FOMC this week, you know, is definitely going to be something to watch. Right? Absolutely. Great start to the week. Always great to start with a win. And let's hope we, you know, keep that as a net positive, right? At the end of the week. That's the goal now for the end of the week, is to keep ourselves net positive. All right, let's see what the 10 o'clock did. 10 o'clock candle, we've got ourselves a nice bearish close, right? A little wick action here, so wicking underneath the daily low and coming back, right? So we'll see if this does expand now. So what I'm going to assume price wants to do is, if we get the retracement, right? The retracement's going to be, so I have the range already on here from high to low. We'll see a retracement of this 50% level. Okay, so price should not breach the high of this range. Okay, we'll come back into, you know, said order block here, or maybe something on a lower time frame. Let's see if there's anything on the 1. Yeah, the 1, there's this imbalance right here, right? So check it out, right? We got this imbalance here. Let's see if the indicator will mark that for us. It should, but sometimes when it's right there, I don't know if it will. I'll test it out right now. Yep, there it is, right? So there's the 1 hour. Beautiful. Okay, so you watch this range, right? We'll come back into this level here. If we get a trade through here, right, then we're likely going to go up and take out the highs and go higher. If we respect previous day high here, notice this is the previous day high, right? And that's why that imbalance is there. We shifted through after coming back and retesting this area, so we want to see it happen again, right? So we'll come back into this area here, retest the midline. So 450 also, okay? There's the psych level there. 450 level, retest, and then continuation down and take out the rest of this that we're looking for it to happen. All of this down here. And, you know, we may get just a bunch of consolidation here today. And then Tuesday set it up. If we look at the daily candle, you know, how this is shaping up, if we do actually get that reversal today, and we close back through, you know, this is going to be a doji candle, right? We'll have a bearish bias, and this could be the start of a big reversal. You know, notice the weekly as well. Weekly started off, right? Opened, came up, took out the high of last week, and now we're back underneath. So let's keep that level on here. It should be the previous high level, previous week high. Let me see. Yeah, this level right here. Previous daily high, previous weekly high right now. That's why it was masked underneath previous daily high, because it's the same line. So yeah, so that level, right, as long as we stay under that, right, this could be the key reversal of the week, right? It doesn't have to be like Wednesday. That's the midweek reversal. This could be it as long as we stay underneath this line, right? Then this is going to be the wick reversal that takes us lower. So you can expect that to be the case. Let's see what we got down to here. Oh, so there we go. See, we got a big reversal, right? We came back up. Did we take out this high? This high is 412.75, and this high is, yes, we did, 413.50, right? So by 3 ticks, we took out this level. And now let's watch and see if this crashes through. The first thing that we're going to want to see is this imbalance right here, inverted and traded back through, if that is the case. Otherwise, we'll see this reaction here. We can see we have divergence. We have reactions to the imbalance here and here, right? We'll see that go through and give us the change of character on that 15-minute, which is up here, right? So glad that we are done early so that we don't have to sit through this, looks like this monstrous chop that we're going to get through. With that turnaround right at the 300 level too, right? Which is why I told you guys to pay attention to the psych levels, right? Because you can use them as either stop levels or take profit levels. Our level was to take out this low, right? And we targeted the 350. You can see now we could have targeted 320. We could have targeted 300, right? Below the daily low here. If our daily low is here, right? And our psych level has already been traded through, the next one down would be the target. So if you're aiming for a daily low, you could say, okay, I want the take profit to come down here to 320. And you can see it even extended down to 300 here. Obviously you don't know for sure that it's going to do that, but you could, that's a good way to, you know, give yourself some clear targets, right? If it's just, if this low is kind of just in the middle of nowhere. This was close enough to the 50 though, so I wanted to see price give us a reaction here at the 50. And we sort of did. We got this wick down and then it came back up, but then another nice push through the next two. And then we got the real reversal. All right, let's see how we navigate. See how we're tapping into this imbalance, right? And we're moving away, but we're not actually moving away. We're just we keep coming back into it. So this is already kind of telling me that this is a weak imbalance. It's not holding. So I'm going to assume that that's going to get run through, obviously, because like I said, we're still bearish and we're still expecting price to go lower here. And because we left this as a big wick, you guys know how I feel about wicks. And if you don't, my philosophy on the long wicks here is that they always get filled. So there's a couple of long wicks over here. So I think all of this is prime target either today or tomorrow. And ahead of FOMC, sometimes we get some big moves, right? Ahead of FOMC, people assume that FOMC is going to be the big market driver, but in fact, we get moves before that, and then FOMC does nothing, right? We've seen that happen a bunch of times. All right, nice movement on that candle. Probably going to close underneath the daily low level that we took out. And that would confirm it for me that the rest of this is going to go as well and trade back down to the high volume level down here. I guess these might be extended a little bit too far here. So let's pull these back in a bit. See if that makes a difference. Not so much on the 1 minute, but yeah, on the 15 minute, there you go. It's a little bit closer in. All right, and there's that little chop that we're experiencing, right? I'm going to see price kind of chop around here, maybe come back and take out all of this. So we can see price is slowly being respected here, these highs, right? Respect the high, respect the high. So there's some nice liquidity being built around this area. We just got a nice sweep with a change of character, okay? And then now we have a reaction to the imbalance and the order block down here. Change of character line is currently being respected. So if I draw this across, right, you can see that we did close below and then back above here. So we are respecting that level, and that level being this series of down close candles being the order block, right, after this sweep with the divergence. So if we're bullish and we want to see price take out all of this liquidity up here, this is where it would happen. Right, now keep in mind that if we take out these levels here, right, that's what we're saying is we're going to sweep out these internal highs into like the order block here and then move down. Okay, Tommy, see you tomorrow. This 15-minute candle is going to close, looks like it's going to close bearish in the next 20 seconds here. Let's see if we can get a closure underneath here. But I would want to see, so following our model, right? This is going to be like the retracement portion of it, because we got our change of character, right? We have now a swing low and we have our retracement happening. So this is our range, right? And I want to see the internal high swept inside that range, which is these highs right here, into our premium point of interest, which is either this order block here, represented by the change of character with the up close candles, or this imbalance, which we have marked here, right? And the order block mark up here as well. So we want to see price go up into these levels, sweep out these internal highs, close back underneath the level here, and then we would be looking for price to roll down after that. So you could wait, right? You don't want to jump in too early. Just seeing, price take out the highs here. This is a 15-minute chart, remember, right? So once we clear that high and we see price get into this area, what you want to see is price basically failing to stay above that area, this area, because this is still potentially bullish, right? We have a divergence here. We have price potentially still, weekly and daily, we're still bullish on the higher time frame, right? And then this right now, this retracement is retracing into our discount level, right? It's already retraced into a discount level, retesting the order block down here, took out this internal low, right? So on a 15-minute bullish model, this is still working out as a bullish model. So you want to see failures of the bullish models, breaking down and not accepting price above or below a certain level, right? So this level right here is our bullish change of character on this swing grade. And if this doesn't hold and it starts to break down, it goes back below here, then you want to see this fail and obviously go lower and follow in along with the QM model here and the current bearish order flow. All right, if not, and we just see it roll down, that's also okay as well. But a little extra icing on top would be to see price come up and take this level out and then roll it back over. And if you see that on the 15-minute, if you see closure back below after we get above here, then that will be your confirmation to start to look for short entries again on the lower time frames. All right, so I think we'll just call the stream here today, because obviously we had a nice good trade. I don't want to keep rambling on here in this because we have to wait for a setup to form, obviously, and I don't want you I don't want to entice anyone to enter now while we're kind of just waiting for things to happen as well. So if there are no questions, or if there's nothing that you guys want to ask, we will just continue tomorrow, and we'll see if we can get another nice trade tomorrow. I may have to cut the stream a little early tomorrow, like around this time. So if we don't get a trade by then, like today, then obviously we'll just we'll wait for the next opportunity. But if there's anything that anyone wants to ask right now, speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, I think we'll just end the stream a little bit early today, since we got a nice win out of it. Okay.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, when we add the other indicator, do we eliminate anything?
No, you don't need to eliminate anything, because
That's existing.
yeah, just keep everything as is. You would have had to change the liquidity protocol, but I already took that out. So if you look in your settings in the liquidity protocol, you don't have the order blocks and the imbalances in there anymore. So that should be gone. So you should see an update to this, and you should see the new indicator. All right. So yeah, and I will post a separate video with the settings for the new indicator and everything in the indicator channel in a little bit. Okay. All right. Awesome, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. If you have any questions, just post them below for me if you need to. Yeah, that's it, guys. Good luck with your trades today. If you do trade some more, but we'll see you tomorrow. See you on the next one.
We can go to the YouTube to look at this again, right?
Yep, absolutely. YouTube stream will be up and the replay will be up right in a few minutes. All right, take care, guys.